Hi, everyone. This is Sandy Chaika from Riverside Brookfield High School just outside Chicago, Illinois, and I'm excited to talk to you about data abstraction. In this video, we're going to explain how lists and strings are actually examples of data abstraction. So what will we learn? Well, hopefully now, after this is over, you'll be able to represent a list or string using a variable. A list is an ordered sequence of elements, and an element is an individual value in a list that is assigned a unique index. An index is a common method for referencing the elements in a list or string using natural numbers, and a string is an ordered sequence of characters. So let's look at examples of all of this. So really what we're talking about are new types of variables, maybe different ones than what you've used before. Strings are specifically an ordered sequence of characters. We might have letters, numbers, digits, even special characters like the ampersand or the dollar sign. So I want you to take a minute and see, can you think of any examples of strings from your everyday life? Stop the video and think. Okay, I hope you thought about this for a moment. Some ideas I came up with are words, phrases, sentences, even ID numbers can be strings. You might think, well, they're numbers, but a social security number has dashes in it. And actually, the numbers themselves are not digits that we would add. It wouldn't make sense to average a social security number. So ID numbers are sometimes actually examples of strings. Another type of variable for this section we're going to talk about are lists. These are an ordered sequence of elements. Each element is in itself a variable. So it could be a whole list of things. You've probably made lists in your everyday life or use them. Pause the video and think for a moment to see, can you come up with any ideas of lists you use in your everyday life? Okay, I hope you stopped and thought about it. Some ideas I came up with: a playlist of songs, the names of students in my school, or even just the names of students in my class are in a list. All the contacts in your phone is one big list. So there's a lot more ideas. You might want to talk about these with your classmates and or your teacher to see what other ideas you come up with. Now, when we work with lists, we often use what we call an index. Each element of a string, each individual part of a string is referenced by an index. And that's also true for a list. When we talk about it in terms of a list, we talk about it starting at an index of 1. Here's an example of a list with appropriate indexes for what we use on the AP exam. So I decided to make a list of some of the animals I saw when I visited Africa. I saw a zebra, I saw an elephant, a giraffe, a warthog, my favorite, and a lion. Animals has an index of 1, and at index 1 is the element zebra. At index 2 is the element elephant. At index 3 is the element giraffe. At 4, warthog. And at 5, a lion. So I'm going to have you look at some questions and see what you can do with this. If your phone has a list of 50 contacts, which of the following is a valid index for the list? Pause your video and see if you can come up with the answer. Okay, let's see if you're right. Well, when I look at this, A is -1. Well, the first index is 1 and then it keeps going up by 1, so we can't have any negative indexes. Indexes also must be whole numbers. I can't have an index at 7.5. An index must be a number. Pat Smith might be an element in my list, but Pat Smith cannot be an index. 9, though, is a number that's between 1 and 50, so that is a potential valid index for a list with 50 contacts. Here's another question. Take a moment, read the question, and see if you can come up with the answer. Okay, so looking at this question, assuming that lists are indexed starting at index 1, which is what we've said already, this list called names has the following contents. Notice there are 5 elements. I want to know what is the element at index 2. Well, remember we start our index at 1. So Maria is at index 1. Jose is at index 2. Now it's not the actual character of the string. This entire string is an element of the list. So Jose is the element at index 2. So what should we take away? We can represent a list or a string using a variable. A list is an ordered sequence of elements, and an element is an individual value in a list, which is assigned a unique index, a common way to refer to elements in a list or a string. A string is an ordered sequence of characters. Thank you for watching this video. I'll hope you'll come back and watch some more videos in the CS Principles Library. Until then, go out and have some fun with CS.